Welcome back to the stream here from the Men's European Cup 2018 from beautiful Newcastle from the Walker Activity Dome. I'm Loud and Queer.
I'm very Terry, as you can see down there.
And we are bringing to you the second half of the game with Glasgow Men's Roller Derby versus Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. Cherry, do you want to remind us of the score before we get underway with second half?
Sure. So currently the score is 14 points to Glasgow and 234 points to Southern Discomfort. So bit of a points differentiation, but entertainment and tactics wise, it's been a stonker.
Yeah, no, we were talking a lot in the first half about how the score doesn't necessarily reflect. Oh my goodness, see, already. The score doesn't necessarily reflect the resistance that Glasgow have actually been able to put up to one of the best teams, not only in the country, but in the world. And there we see a nice quick first jam that holds SDRD to however many points?
Just the one.
Just the 1 point. That is pretty impressive considering.
Yeah, Glasgow really happy with their performance in that first jam. It was a little bit like time had repeated itself. Blitzkrieg straight out grabbing lead jammer there. But yeah, much more successful out in there for Glasgow. As you said, is he holding SDRD to just 1 point, forcing a call out. Lovely stuff.
And now we have Optimus Grime, who is one of the captains for SDRD, up against Fluke, who pops out the pack backwards to pick up leads.
Let's have a look at this defensive wall. We have got James IV. We've got Rosie really trying to hold and get ready to accept Fluke into their wall.
I thought you were going to say, like, accept Fluke into their life as the Lord and Saviour for a minute.
No, just into their wall for a few seconds. Lovely work there from both teams. 5 points grabbed, and let's have a look at that replay. Looks like Grime is going to grab it, but Papa Sutz just gets his body in the right place at the right time. Always a smooth criminal, isn't he?
He is. I mean, it's better than having your body in the right place at the wrong time or in the wrong place at the...
babe.
Can you have your body in the wrong place at the right time?
Ooh,
a conundrum. Tell us.
Answers on a postcard, kids.
Please, send them care of the dome.
Right. So that start there, we were nearly treated to a pivot line start. But SDRD pushed in Glasgow back there. But it did work in Glasgow's favour, didn't it, Izzy?
It did indeed, because Darth Vader, with his weird bendy legs and his ability to just do things with the human body that should be illegal, gets out the pack, and picks up a forearm. Oh, what a shame for Glasgow there. But he might have some points in his pocket when he comes out the box. We shall see. In the meantime, Jam Master J is on a power jam for SDRD.
But some beautiful two-person defense at the front. The Spaniel really putting in the defensive job here. We see SDRD not even sending any offense up, leaving Jam Master J, to deal with that beautiful defense at the front there. I want to give some shout-outs there to Righteous. We've got the Spaniel, and I can't quite see who that is, but you will get some credit in a minute. When I see who you are.
That's T-Virus.
It is, so credit to that beautiful defense at the front. And while there is beautiful defense going on at the front, there is beautiful defense at the back, courtesy of Billy, Shane, and Brains holding off the sassiest jammer in town.
And Darth Vader, in the meantime, doing some magic with his skates and does make it through for 4 points. So that is Glasgow's first points in quite some time now. SDRD, in the meantime, 10 on the jam for Jam Master J.
Beautiful defense once more here. It feels like Glasgow have got a bit more of a rhythm going in this game now. Half time, I think, has really paid for them well. Don't know what they talked about. Probably just drank some iron brew.
I mean, it's likely. But if I know Glasgow, what they probably would have said was, come on, guys, we've got to play our game. Like, we're not going to be able to necessarily play up to SDRD, but we can play what we have done in practice. I know they've been training super hard. So it's nice to see them a bit calmer, and Righteous is so happy with that.
What were you just saying about calm?
I mean, calm in a Scottish way, like, is different. Look, 8 points on the board there for Glasgow.
Cheeky 9.
Cheeky 9, apologies, and 14 for SDRD. So, considering that was a power jam against...
Pretty good stuff.
Pretty good stuff.
Right, let's take a second to look at this start. SDRD have been doing this a lot. They get to the front, and they kind of like almost like man on, if you will, to use such an expression, really shoving Glasgow into quite a position to not set up, and it's been pretty nice. But obviously, as I credit it, Glasgow do a lovely tripod, hold off Shank, and it's all wonderful.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like Glasgow are, again, kind of not trying to resist what SDRD are trying to do, but kind of go with it. They're like, right, if you're going to speed us up at the pack at the start, we'll go up with you and we'll form our wall over there. Like, our wall is still together. So smart move there from Glasgow. Nonetheless, Shank McCoy, what a good boy, is lead jammer right now for SDRD. But Basharoo out of the pack.
Pack advantage is now with Glasgow. So as we've still got just over a minute left of this game, of this jam, my apologies, we might have been treated to a little bit of Glasgow offense, but unfortunately Shank was your lead jammer, so was able to call that jam off. Points picked up there for SDRD, but as I said, we're really seeing Glasgow kind of show us a bit more of what we saw in the first game that Glasgow played this morning.
For sure.
8 a.m.
Oh, 8 a.m. was an early time for us all. It's best not to reflect on it, really. Basher was a bit upset at the end of that jam that he did not manage to pick up those points at the last minute, but nonetheless, holding SDRD to 4, no mean feat. As we head into jam 5, Blitzkrieg out super speedily, and Hugs and Kisses following behind him.
Yeah, beautiful work there from Hugs and Kisses and our in-house crowd. Really going pretty bananas for him. Beautiful work there. Hugs and Kisses pretty much doing his own offense pass 1, 2, 3 of SDRD, and gives his crowd a little bit of appreciation back to them, which is always wonderful to see here at MEC.
So just some stats that I've just been tracking briefly, because Cherry and I discussed this at halftime, like what will we actually want to break down for you dear viewers at home. And what we're finding at the moment, this is very much a second half thing that we're tracking. But actually, Glasgow's jammer has made it out of the pack every time this half. Okay, they've not just been stuck on in the pack. They have made it out on their initial. Not necessarily put points up, but have made it out of the pack.
Beautiful footwork there from Fluke at the front of the pack. We did see Disaster desperately trying to hold off Fluke and really made Fluke work for it. That footwork did not come for free, and it came from the beautiful defense of Disaster. Nice stuff.
And SDRD just swirling around Grime there to try to hold him. Beautiful toe-stop work there from Optimus Grime. Makes out of the pack on the initial.
But when you've got lead, you can call it when you've grabbed your points, and this is working in SDRD's favour. Glasgow are holding them down to those smaller jams, those 3-4 hit-o, quit-o.
Well, yeah, looking at the jams so far, so SDRD have had these have been the jams so far. 1 point, 1 point, 14 points, 4 points, 4 points, 2 points. And the 14 point was the 2-minute jam where Glasgow lost the lead due to a penalty. But given that we were seeing these big multi-pass scoring runs in the first half, this is really impressive work here from Glasgow. So SDRD are going to have to pull out some work here.
And what they did pull out was a beautiful bit of toe stoppery there from Kilbricks, really showing off why he's not just the jammer to put on for a power jam. Beautiful work there, but it is now a power jam in Kilbricks' favour. As which jam is that, babe?
That is Darth Vader sitting in the box right now, because he we might see it on the replay here. So there goes Kilbrick speeding up. There goes Darth on the in, puts a hand down, but it looks like he must have put something else out as well, as his jam ref did issue the cut track penalty. So we now have a power start for SDRD, and it is going to be Shank McCoy.
Yeah, SDRD once more really favouring this pivot line start. It looks like what they're trying to do is just crush Glasgow down so that they can just send one offensive player. In this example, it was Lee going in and grabbing Shank out so they can just set up at the back of the pack. Lovely, lovely stuff. Savage Hun going in for some offense against that beautiful 2-wall of Rosie. And is that Tough as well coming to join them?
I believe that is Tough wearing the pivot cover right now.
Joined by James the Fourth. The Rosie, James the Fourth, Tough tripod really has been quite one to watch. And now it's a power jam for Glasgow. So let's have a look at that offensive wall.
Yeah, so a change of fortunes here from a power start to a power jam. Power start against to a power jam in favour, I should say, just to clarify. So Darth now going to put those bendy legs to some good use. The pack nice and slow in the straightaway. And SDRD just doing some beautiful swirling, reforming movement there. Low block issued to 1-3-1-4 of SDRD. That's Robert the Bruise. So Darth forced to reset, but again, just such a strong hold.
Talking of strong, Rosie Peacock comes bounding out of the pack there. Those hips of theirs are really quite a trademark. But Shank does just manage to swing on by. And
Krista returning from the box behind Darth, who is on a scoring pass, having picked up 5 points. 5 each on the jam for SDRD and Glasgow right now.
Nice bit of work at the front of the pack there, but Darth did see that they were being knocked out by Lee, I believe that is, at the front of the pack. Recycles themselves round. Shank is coming up now as we go into the dying seconds. Can Shank grab a couple of points here for SDRD? Grabs a couple. That'll do.
Yeah, but a nice hold there from that Glaswegian tripod. He just kind of ping-ponged into it, but they didn't give him the movement. So after a 2-minute jam, 11-4 in the jam in favour of SDRD.
I think we've got to give some absolute props there to all of the blockers for such a low-scoring jam for a 2-minute.
11-9 there, actually. Yeah, no, incredible work from the blockers, both SDRD on that power jam with the waterfalling and the swirling reform, and then Glasgow just managing to hold strong. Oh, but what can he do against a jammer like Blitzkrieg? How do you solve a problem like Blitzkrieg? He's just so smooth, and he's got fire in his eyes as he comes around on this scoring pass. Oh, takes all of Glasgow to the ground pretty much.
But Blitz showing off why he really is such a world-class jammer. Very track aware there, manages to dance around Glasgow, gets through and calls it off. Credit to SDRD for that jam, because that was pretty tasty.
Tasty indeed. And we can see here on that instant replay, Basharoo just pushing at the front of that pack. And Glasgow having to drop back to one Blitzkrieg. Here comes that hit on Sturdy Girders and a couple of the other players. But back up they pop, to their credit.
Speaking of backup, we have SDRD taking the pivot line once more, but SDRD have called a team timeout with 17 minutes left to go in this second period. Not really had too much in the way of stoppages, which is always fantastic, as in like we've had no injury stoppage, touch wood of course, official reviews, timeouts, etc. have been kept to a minimum. It's been a very lovely game, hasn't it?
It has, and you know what? This is one of the things I really love about MRDA tournaments in particular, like the Men's European Cup. Like, there is a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of learning going on. You know, even a high-level team like SDRD, they still come to these tournaments not for bragging rights. You know, they come to learn from other players as well. I do genuinely believe that.
And what I think is quite interesting, as you said that, is I have noticed the rotation of SDRD players. So it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, Universe, you will. It looks like the bench has been rotated a lot through now. The lead is comfortable. I mean, it doesn't take no genius to say who's going to win this game. So props to them. Rotate your players through. I don't know the mild crossover players that well, but I'm pretty sure we've got one or two. So it's wonderful to see them being played. You don't need to play your ace of spades every time.
You do not, because that would be a stupid game of poker if I saw one. I don't even know the rules of poker. I don't even know the rules of roller derby, but they let me talk about it anyway. We currently have a 250 point differential, but everyone is having a lovely time. A wonderful weekend at MEC being had by all. And now we've got Hugs and Kisses, the captain for GMRD, lining up. And I believe that is for Luke. Oh, and it's Hugs and Kisses!
Hugs and Kisses really getting the crowd on his side there as he comes past. Of course, it wouldn't be a game with Scottish fans if there wasn't a drum in the audience, being beaten like no tomorrow. Hugs and Kisses really having his glamour jam. God bless him.
Yep, and he does pick up 3 points there, I think, with the...
but he's lost his hat.
He has.
Oh, and Savage Hunt's going to sit on it. Not really, but he's near it.
Oh, well, yeah, Savage Hunt is like, he's a good sport, so we'll let him pick it up without being too much of a mean person about it. Oh, smart draw back there from 087 Lee.
Yeah, that was pretty beautiful. I was already enjoying the tripod of Skelton, Savage and Lee, but that cut, if you could get a cut on a jammer like that, it is sweet, sweet nectar, isn't it?
And to be fair, as Hugs went to the box, I saw him go, fair play, mate,
Fair play, that was pretty tasty.
Yeah, gets a high five from Rosie Peacock as they come back to the track from the box. And Glasgow doing a nice job holding Fluke here, but just as I say that, he sweeps on through for 5 points.
Let's have a look at this Glasgow pack. So we've got number 9, that is Whiplash. We've got 5-0, as we know, Rosie Peacock. We've got Disaster, and we've got and we've got Tough as well, which is a pack that I've been enjoying with my eyes quite a lot already here at beautiful Mech.
Nice toast-up work going on there with Hugs at the back, now out of the box. We've got a SDRD blocker going to the box for his troubles. And Hugs comes through for 4 points, checks that he's got his helmet covered. Oh, God, love him.
Always have your hat on, Hugs. Skelton is in the penalty box. I believe that is for a track cut penalty.
And some nice offense there by Lee. SDRD are very good at heading up to a wall and then sending a player in at the side just to shield them. So it's not fancy, but it's the kind of thing you can tell that they have drilled for months and months and months, because it's just happening constantly. And it's very difficult to counter as well.
Yes.
I've stopped keeping track, of the stats we've got, but I do believe that was our biggest jam of the half for SDRD at 27 points. Now putting them at 309 to Glasgow's 39. That's rather pleasing with all those numbers.
That is a lot of 9s, babe. No 6s though, so I'm not happy about
Oh look, and just as I say that, it's ruined now. It was 9 points for Glasgow in that jam.
You can't have anything nice.
Oh, we've got...
For some reason the house announcers are right next to us, which is a bit strange. But there we go. We'll roll with it, babe. We'll roll with it.
So Optimus Grime now jamming for Glasgow. Oh, on his knees. Oh.
Shane going over the back of Grime. We've got Wonder Zebra checking that Grime is okay. Looks like he is. He's back up on skates. It takes more than just a couple of SDRD players to hold back the man, the legend that is old Grime.
And speaking of legends, Optimus Grime does, with great tenacity, pick up lead status. Jam Master J right behind him, though.
Yeah, Jam Master J is like, you might be big and strong, but I'm going to hide behind you and then do a little apex jump.
And a apex jump that lands him in the Sisu Mouthguard's penalty box for a cut track penalty. Grime now with the Grand Slam. Moment of silence for the jam at that point, which will no longer be in place after December.
Oh.
Sad times. Grime comes in to the wall, braced most ably by Skelton.
Yeah, we've got a lovely bit of defense here from Skelton, Horndog, Brains and Aesbit, desperately trying to hold off Grime, but Grime looks like he's just having a nice little afternoon. Tottering around the track.
And he looks at his bench and she tells him, no mate, you're going to run it. He goes, fine, I'll run it. I'll do the thing. And he does it so beautifully and so ably.
And the in-house crowd are very happy with that, as are all of Glasgow. Lovely 15 points picked up there from Grime. Lovely to see all of Glasgow working together really well to absolutely combat that defence. And
that is that will be Glasgow's biggest jam, of the game, I believe.
Tasty stuff.
Tasty. Your word of the day at the moment really is tasty, isn't it, Cherry?
I seem to have one word per game that I overuse.
Well, you're using it really beautifully, babes.
Thanks, hun.
Oh, Darth Vader. Beautiful work on the inside line, and the crowd again go absolutely bananas for his bendy legs.
It was pretty tasty.
It was.
Yeah, some beautiful jamming here from Darth Invader. But we have got Shank absolutely pelting it round the track, looking at his fellow skaters for some offense. Not sure he needs it.
Oh, Darth unfortunately picking up another cut trap penalty. I think he thought he had a no pass, but not quite. So takes a seat, but that is a power jam now for SDRD, but it will be a 2-minute jam.
Yeah, and Shank just got quite casually coming around the outside there. Saw the commotion that was going on with Darth Vader, sorry. And just shimmied on by, and it was lovely to look at.
And Rosie and Tough catching Shank at the top of the pack. Nice work there from Glasgow. And Tough with the hold. Darth now coming out. I think he will have some points in his pocket from the box. Beautiful work there from James the Fourth to get some offense there for Darth. Oh, big hit there, taking him to the end. And
yeah, it looks like we've got like one pack of 8 skaters at the moment, just in different coloured t-shirts.
Yeah, all happening in turn 3. Shank McCoy looks a wee bit tired, but the crowd are with both skaters as they head around. He lets Darth overtake him. Oh, and Darth Vader just putting those spins to really excellent work. What an exceptional skater that man is. Oh, slides past Papa Sats. Taken back by Robert the Bruise. What a jam. Oh my goodness me. And look at this. SDRD 13, but Glasgow 11.
Oh, and we missed SDRD getting to the triple century as well.
Triple century. Slap, slap, slap.
Nice. Massive love and thank you to Roller Derby City for being one of our wonderful sponsors here today. We are probably sat the furthest away possible from the Roller Derby City stand, but we can still see their wonderful luminous wares.
And we can see on your screen their banner. You can check them out at rollerderbycity.com for all your team uniforms, apparel, and team merchandise needs. And
I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you know where to get Roller Derby City from.
You don't know that. There might be somebody watching Roller Derby for the first time. Oh my goodness. Spaniel with the takeout on Blitzkrieg. And Basharoo out of the pack now.
Blitzkrieg calling that jam to the end. Full 5 points picked up there by SDRD. Real classic Blitzkrieg type of jam there. Comes through, grabs some points, calls it off. Back to the bench for a biscuit.
And now we've got Hugs and Kisses lined up again. It seems like a while since we've seen Hugs with the star, but to be fair, it has been a fast and furious game. Hugs has been a member of Glasgow Men's Roller Derby, one of the founders, I believe, for quite some time. But I believe that he is going to be making the move to a different league, as he is currently residing in Newcastle. Cannot confirm or deny. But what if this is his last tournament as a JMRD player? What a tournament to go out on. The last Men's European Cup in the Walker Dome in Newcastle. If these walls could talk,
ooh,
they'd probably say,
what's roller derby?
What's roller derby and why is everyone going on about the dogs?
Oh, the dogs are cute though. You can tell it's a roller derby crowd because people are like cooing over the dogs, but like no one's really interested in the babies.
I mean, that's legitimate. We've got Hugs and Kisses giving a bit of a heart to the crowd.
Oh, there really is so many people here today. It's absolutely wonderful to see.
Were there this many people at MRDA Champs?
There was a fair amount of people, yeah, and it was a lovely day. A lovely 3 days was had by everybody.
And well, we're having a lovely 2 days at Emmy, so hope everyone has a great weekend.
It's a great weekend.
#blessed.
We are indeed.
Everyone's just having a wee bit of a chat on the jam line. And Jam has started, but we are at a virtual standstill. Jammeister J playing a bit of Jammer defense at the start.
Yeah, loves me some of these scrum starts where everyone's right at the back. You don't know where one blocker starts and another begins.
Multiplayer block being called there on the SDRD pivot, but no bother for Jam Master J, who is out for lead. However, Hugs and Kisses not far behind at all.
No, not at all. And I think we are going to be treated to a little bit more offensive fun from Savage Skelton and Lee as Jam Master Jay comes round, does 900 pirouettes, calls off the jam.
901, actually. You didn't count correctly.
I can't count.
I know maths isn't your strong suit, Cherry, but that was clearly 901 pirouettes.
Maths was the first half.
It's fine, babes. We'll forgive and forget.
Thanks, mate.
So here we are on this instant replay. So we're going to see that nice little skip round for Jam Master Jay, but then Hugs taking that inside line that had been cleared to make it out on the initial.
The home crowd here really are cheering on Glasgow. If you are at home watching this, do cheer on whichever team it is you're supporting. It could be Glasgow, it could be SDRD, it could be the Dogs of Roller Derby, it could just be that you really love the Walker Activity Zone. Whatever it is, holler out now. Okay, we're done.
We're done. Thank you for your time. So Optimus Grime at the moment on the jam. Oh my goodness, what to be? And he does pick up lead jammer for Glasgow. And I think that is the first time that Fluke hasn't got lead. I'm not tracking stats, but he has had a astonishingly consistent game. I don't think he's had any penalties. I think that's Fluke's streak broken. Grime putting up 4.
Grime checking in with the penalty, but with the bench box. That's
bench
not a
box.
Thing. Whatever
track
it's called.
staff crew.
Checks in. Bench crew say keep this going. This is in your favour, Glasgow.
And Glasgow drawing Fluke back. Fluke hasn't made it out on his initial yet.
But Grime has been recycled by Bruise and Horndog to the back of the pack. So it looks like we're going to have almost like another start, but in front of us rather than far away from us.
You're welcome. Newcastle, we set that for you. Ooh. Lovely spinning toe-stop work there from Grime. Doing a wee bit of air and water jamming. If you know, you know. And Fluke had made his initial pass. My apologies, because that is now 4 points for Fluke. Oh my goodness me. Glasgow are delighted with that jam. That is the first time, I think, that they have outscored SDRD in a jam.
I would say so,
13
yes.
points to 4.
13, not unlucky for some people if you are Glasgow. And let's have a look at that replay.
So here we see Grime, and I think we're going to see that lovely little toe-stop spin. He goes to the out. Laterals back to the in. And, oh, that is just gorgeous footwork there from the Glasgow men's captain.
It's pretty tasty, I thought. We've got Kilbricks coming up the outside there. Inside, my apologies. Very lovely work then, leaving his blockers to just to concentrate on defence. As Basharoo gets issued with a high block, it is sent to the Sisu penalty box. So Kilbricks, this is all for you now, mate.
Yeah, some nice communication there with the refs on the infield just to establish that penalty. So Kilbricks now using some nice hip movement there to pick up the full 5 points before calling the jam and icing Basharoo in the Sisu Mouthguard penalty box.
Oh, look at this start at the front. We've literally got half of the track, Glasgow, half of the track, SDRD, but then Horndog ruins it by trying to get in on the Glasgow side. One of Glasgow gets round, tries to get in on the SDRD side. Maybe that's a tactic and not a coincidence.
I think it is, and you saw Rosie and Tuff getting nice and low there, and look, it has worked, because although they've got to play, they're able to hold Blitzkrieg for a few seconds, and that is not easy to do.
Chronic is shouting something, but it's in Welsh and I can't understand it.
That's fair enough. Blitzkrieg picks up 5. Disaster currently being goated in the back by SDRD.
We are being treated to it, and I love this where you see both teams doing exactly the same. Tripod and one, tripod and one. What do you call the one person? It's probably a code name within your own leagues.
I do not know. And jam is called. We've got some penalties being whistled at the last few seconds. Let's just see who's going to the box for that.
It's like it's Chronic. Whatever he shouted in Welsh, it caught him a penalty. Oh, look at his little face in this C2 penalty box. He's like, me, no.
He's like, I didn't mean to do a naughty.
He is cute, isn't he?
Optimus Grime now lining up for Glasgow against Jam Master J. Don't think this is a pairing we've seen a lot of. Glasgow flooring Jam Master J, and Grime picking up lead very nice and quickly, under 10 seconds.
What do we think? Are Glasgow going to get to the coveted century mark?
I would not put it past them. They are a very determined bunch of people. Oh, but you jinxed it, because Grime, again, with that very smart drawback, SDRD have obviously, again, drilled that as a tactic to kind of get that shadow cut motion that sees Grime taking a seat in the Sisu penalty mouth guards. What? Sisu penalty mouth guards? Oh,
mouth box.
Mouth box. A box of mouths. I think that's Grime's first trip to the box at this game.
However, it didn't need to take 2 blockers with you, so bit of penalty trouble for Glasgow, as we've got more blockers going to join them in the box.
Well,
so,
I think T-Virus went to the box, but was then told to return to track, because there he is, having not sat down. Jam Master J.
Eyes.
Jam Master J with 5 on the jam so far. Nice bit of 2-wall defense there, but has put up another grand slam.
Skelton taking a knee at the back of the pack. Gets up, reforms a tripod, but unfortunately Grime was a little bit too fast for them there. Slips around the outside, grabs 4 points. We are ever closer to seeing a Glaswegian century. Oosh, big hit on Savage Hunt. I saw it coming, and a gambol. How many people can say Grime has gamboled over their head?
I mean,
not many, but
not
Savage
many.
Hunt is now one of them.
Oh, Grime tries to lateral to the out. Pivot meets him there. That's 1-3-1-4. Robert the Bruise
does get a penalty for that, but it's like a lot of penalties. Maybe it was worth it, because if you could shave a bit of time and power off Grime, it might well be worth it.
Yep, and Grime heads back to the bench, checks in with the points that he got. The 19-8 jam in favour of SDRD, and do you know what? Maybe Glasgow will make it to that century mark, and they will be so pleased if they do. Look at Rosie on the line. They're just doing some kind of gymnastics.
Well, we ain't got time for gymnastics, but we have got time for an official review.
Ooh, have we had one of those yet?
No, I believe this is the first one, but it's not, it's not everybody's first official review. We all know what we're doing.
Right.
We will bring you the information as soon as we can. But while we're in an official review situation, let's give a quick shout out to Roller Derby City, CC Mouth Guards, and a massive love and thank you to Newcastle Roller Girls and Tainan Fia for bringing this game and tournament into your very eyes and multi-sensories.
Tynan Fear. We love Tynan Fear.
Tynan Fear.
You went very Geordie then. No, we do absolutely love and appreciate every single person who has made MEC 2018 a thing. And of course, we have a whole lot more action still remaining after this game at 6 o'clock. You can see, let me just figure it out for you.
I don't know if you guys can see this on the telly, whatever it's called. Reaper, who is your mirror coach, is trying to signal something over to Brains, but instead all of Glasgow are just joining in and doing some silly things back to him. But what Reaper did want was Steve to run across the track so we could all look at him.
Aww. So, back to roller derby. So after
that
this...
was roller derby.
It is, that's true. So at 6 o'clock, you are going to be treated to... Mad Riders, who won their game earlier against Helsinki Coast Quads, against New World Order, hailing from Manchester in the UK. And then at 8 o'clock, you will be treated to the Gothenburg Salty Seamen versus Helsinki Coast Squads. So lots of representation there from the Scandi countries, which is lovely to see. They are a real force in European roller derby. Who have you enjoyed watching today, Cherry, just from this game? Like, who stood out for you?
As in an individual or roller derby in general?
I mean, roller derby in general stands out to me, but like, has there been a particular moment, like a particular tactic or a particular player?
I've been enjoying, as I think I've said a couple of times now, have enjoyed the two-person wall of Tough and Rosie Peacock, a tough peacock, if you will.
A tough peacock. You just want to say a tough peacock again.
I do also really very much enjoy watching the Shane Asbit Illbilly kind of mashup of SDRD.
Yeah,
I have one each team because I'm so balanced.
Who do I enjoy watching? I love watching both these teams play. Actually, I think they're very different styles and they're very different kind of attitudes to roller derby. But for me on SDRD, I think I've really enjoyed watching Shank McCoy jam, as I always do. He's a very calm, very consistent jammer. And Glasgow, I think I've really enjoyed Righteous. Righteous is a real linchpin in his wall, and he gets so pleased with his teammates. Like, you really see him enjoying it off track.
Okay, Julia, I get it. So me and Julia are trying to desperately signal to each other using very over-the-top language that I'm not understanding, even though Julia's written it on a whiteboard for me. I still don't get it, but I've got it now. We don't say that in this country. I love you too.
I think we're going to have the results of the official review coming to you very shortly, which probably means we're going to get underway. It looks like we have a lot of Glasgow players in the box.
Yeah, it looks like we've still got Tough and Peacock on the track though, so I'm happy with that.
So we're just bringing the results of the official review. SDRD were seeking an illegal assist penalty be issued as they claimed that the blue jammer had got a whip off a downed white blocker. That's number 1-5. However, the action as described in the official review was not witnessed by the skating officials. Therefore, the illegal assist penalty will not be issued, and Sudden Discomfort do not retain their official review for this half. That said, we only have 2 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Rosie is sitting
Cleaning
down.
the floor by the looks of it.
I will have to ask them about that afterwards. Like, I mean, they're a practical person. They like to do things when they can, but I'd never seen them do that before.
Maybe that was the international signal for bring me some blue roll.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Rosie's just testing the floor. I've seen them do stranger things.
Big shout out to our wonderful crew in yellow who are looking after us all this weekend. Whether you want the floor cleaning, you need the track repairing, you need the internet sorting out, you need to bring me a double shot mocha checker.
Well, somebody needs to bring Cherry something at this point. Well, with only 2 and a bit minutes left, I mean, I just have to say, I do really think that Glasgow have absolutely brought it in this second half, both in terms of the points they put up and how strategically they played. Nonetheless, you cannot fault SDRD for having these incredibly well-drilled and slick strategies on track. There goes Shank McCoy with a big grin. What a good boy with lead jammer.
Yeah, some beautiful work there from Shank going up against the Spaniel. Shank recycles himself correctly. Good track awareness. Grime is standing up in the Sisu penalty box. It looks like they will be released at the same time as Robert the Bruise. Everyone's back on the track.
And Shank McCoy picks up the Grand Slam. Grime being drawn back by Robert the Bruise. Robert the Bruise actually has been one of those standout players who stood out because he's always doing the kind of mostly the correct thing, isn't he? Like, he's there where he needs to be.
Yeah, a little bit under the radar skater
yes,
at the moment.
That's the phrase I was looking for. Thank you.
I think we'll be seeing plenty of him this weekend.
And with that jam coming to a conclusion, Glasgow are just going to take the time out. I mean, they might as well just to reset and gain some energy and some drive for the last. What will probably be the last jam potentially. Maybe not.
Who knows, but we do only have 1 minute 6 on the period clock. Oh. We just have our fellow house announcers whipping up the crowd right now. It's actually that's all I can hear.
Ripping up the crowd. I thought you said ripping up the crowd.
No, whipping, darling.
Pronounce. Otherwise, we do not endorse
ripping.
We do not endorse unless it's. I don't know. No, there's no circumstance in which that's acceptable.
Unless it's like ripping open a bag of chips to share with everyone.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Would be lovely.
Oh, we just got the medical staff on track, but it's fine. I think they're just clearing up some bodily fluids.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a lovely way to end the game.
Oh, when are the salty seamen on? Speaking of which.
Oh, I was wondering when someone was going to make that joke. Oh, the smack talk on the internet between Glasgow and Gothenburg, the Salty Seamen, but before their game this morning was something to behold. But it was all in good fun.
Has it come to a climax now then?
I mean, I think everything's come to a climax now. I will here now on the internet take credit for the meme that was issued that was saying, "Oh, you're like we're still like." We're saltier than tap water is saltier than you, Gothenburg. I came up with that. You're welcome, GMRD. And now we are in Jam 20. Darth Vader wearing the star for Glasgow. Comes up against Sutton, who escorts him to the outside. Kilbrick's being escorted to the outside also.
So let's just rewind this whole jam.
And Darth now at the front of the pack. Oh, so close. But it is Kilbricks who makes it out with lead after over 30 seconds, though. And Kilbricks re-entering the pack. Glasgow reforming at the front. Nice work there. I believe that's Righteous.
Some lovely work at the back there. We can see Darth desperately trying to get past the hips of Skelton. Uses his hips, uses his shoulders, whatever he can to get past. Beautiful flexibility from the Glasgow Jammer.
Period clock is expired. We are on jam time only.
Big hit there from Rosie. Sends Kilbricks into almost the crowd, but Kilbricks is your lead jammer, so can call up the jam.
And you know what? As the score, look at that. 3 points go up for Glasgow, 8 for SDRD. And although you can't see it on your screen, the crowd are so very pleased. And a fantastic win there. Great victory from SDRD, making a real statement. But Glasgow are absolutely delighted.
Yeah, Glasgow really tough with what they've put out there today. But let's also have a look at some of the discomfort. As I said, I don't know whether it was accident or design, but really recycling their whole bench through today, making sure that everybody got a little piece of the pie, ready for whichever games come up against them later in this tournament.
And what a fantastically fun game to call as well. All smiles on track afterwards. And, you know, I really look forward to seeing both these teams play out for the rest of the tournament. We've got huge amounts of talent kind of coming up within both those leagues as well. You know, you talked about those crossovers from Mild. And then we've got some newer players in Glasgow who are really showing that they've earned their stripes somewhat. So what a fantastic fourth game on MEC 2018.
It really has been. Thank you for joining us here on the live stream. I believe we'll be throwing over into an interview very shortly with my good self. So it's weird that I'm
throwing over to me.
So I will leave you now. I've been very Terry. Thank you very much.
I'm Loud and Queer. Thank you very much for joining us.